So before we jump into talking about the company, what you guys are doing, I have a lot of questions on that. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I'm sure my audience is curious to what you do, what you did before this. Kind of how you got into this space, like what your interests were.
Yeah. Well, I think it's kind of a apt time right now because it's bull market and there's a lot of hype and we're seeing it all over the news. And now Elon Musk is tweeting how, he's not accepting Bitcoin for payments for cars, and so now it's all
Hmm.
over the news. But a lot of people are coming into our space, right? And it's exciting. And a lot of people want to think, oh, maybe I don't want that traditional 9 to 5 and maybe I want to take a job in the crypto industry. And that was kind of my story as well. So it's kind of cool to see that it's entirely possible. I went to the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I'm a proud Badger. I grew up
Hmm.
in Wisconsin and studied business and took a corporate job with Nestle, doing sales in Florida for them after undergrad. This is 2009, so
Hmm.
right in the heart of the financial crisis 1.0. But I couldn't do that job. I was there for like less than a year. It was like 11 months. Nestle divided its sales force into Walmart and everything else. So I was on Team Walmart,
Hmm.
and I had 17 Walmart stores in the Tampa area that I had to hit. And just spending all day, every day in Walmart, I couldn't do it. So I kind of took some time to explore what I was really passionate about. I grew up in a household where service was really big. We were always volunteering in the community or going to the vet's home or doing things with my family. And I moved to Chicago and joined a nonprofit, the CARA program. Since rebranded to CARA Chicago, but CARA does
Hmm.
job training and job placement for homeless. And that was an amazing organization. I still support it. And I was there for 5 years helping homeless people get employed and retain the job and break that cycle of poverty. And in Chicago, I met my now wife on the train. And then we both wanted to continue doing service work, but wanted to have some abroad experiences. And we moved to Costa Rica to serve in the Peace Corps. And that was really cool. We worked with local entrepreneurs there to help them explore kind of how to grow their businesses. We were on a small island, Isla de Chira, um, and that island is really a fishing island. But when we were there, we helped kind of have people think about ways to generate income outside of just fishing. And so we helped develop a local ecotourism economy there. But also when I was in Costa Rica, there are times where
Hmm.
people are blowing you off on your meetings and like there's downtime and it's 100 degrees and you're sitting at home. And I had a lot of time to do kind of research. I started looking into finance and trading equities. And then I kind of fell down the proverbial crypto rabbit hole. Um, so from there, I've worked in the crypto space really since
Hmm.
2017. And I've worked with a few different projects. Salt Lending, I helped them kind of launch their initial community. Block Party is a ticketing agency, and I was a marketing manager for them. And they've also now pivoted into NFTs. But I've always been very involved and gotten my hands dirty in a lot of communities. I always try to provide feedback and value for the community and kind of seeing where these projects are going. And Sentinel was a project I was involved in since the very beginning, since the community launched right around the end of 2017, beginning of 2018. And just as a community member and more a cheerleader and passionate about what Sentinel is a peer-to-peer bandwidth protocol for people to offer bandwidth to the network. And with that peer-to-peer bandwidth protocol, we can
Hmm.
have decentralized VPN. We can get into that in a little bit, but I was always involved with Sentinel, and it was last year that I came on co-founding Exidio after I finished my MBA. So
Yeah. So what is a decentralized VPN, or like what makes that like a thing? Like I'm curious because like I have a VPN, I use it, and I
yeah,
know the benefits of one, but like what's the difference between a normal VPN and a decentralized VPN with what you guys are doing?
yeah, definitely. So, like Alex, you're using a VPN. A lot of people are using VPNs. It's becoming like a really necessary product to be able to
Hmm.
have more privacy online, to be able to block geo restrictions, be able to get access to content that you wouldn't otherwise. Um, but centralized VPNs are also a single point of failure. So instead of having your internet service provider as the company that's could be logging all of your user data and reselling that or doing whatever they want with that user data, your metadata, we're just pushing that responsibility down the
Hmm.
line to our VPN company. So almost all VPN companies don't open source their code. We can't prove that they're end-to-end encrypted, and we can't really prove what's going on with the actual user data going through the exit node of a VPN company. But in the Sentinel network, it's a peer-to-peer network,
Okay.
similar to like the Tor network. And so the exit node is any individual that's offering bandwidth to this marketplace. So there is no one central company, there is no one entity that could possibly be logging your data. So it's
Okay. So like, do you have like a bunch of people that are running nodes for the network and like supporting it?
yeah, right now there's a little over 500. I think we're closer to 550 nodes active across the world right now. And that I expect to scale very quickly because there'll be an incentive program that's coming on to really offer benefits for node hosts that are offering their bandwidth.
Okay. Is there like an incentive for people like to actually do it and set up these nodes and, participate in the network to make it happen?
Exactly. So Sentinel has its own native cryptocurrency, the Dvpn token. And that token, Decentralized VPN, the Dvpn token is paid out to node hosts that are offering bandwidth to the network. And there's actually going to be a special node host incentive program coming on in the next couple of weeks to really bootstrap a broader VPN bandwidth sharing network right now to go from 550 nodes to really making it easy and accessible for anyone to offer their bandwidth to the network and generate passive income for doing so. So it's similar to a Tor network, but it's incentivized, and so there's financial incentive to offer your bandwidth to the network.
Okay, gotcha. Was there like a single reason why you wanted to get into decentralized VPNs? Like, were you having issues with an existing VPN in the past, or like from a bad experience, or did you just see like the potential to improve upon the problems that traditional VPNs have? Like, was there like a single moment or idea?
Yeah, so for me personally, I have used other VPNs in the past, and I haven't had one specific instance where I was like, "Oh, I don't trust this VPN company." But I have, it's well documented that many VPN companies have been hacked, and they are logging user data. And it's not just that this is a project leveraging blockchain technology and in a decentralized network. It's about the sovereign rights for us as individuals to reclaim our privacy online, reclaim our data online, and to be able to have. It's definitely a challenge, and we need to take that seriously. Our rights to our independence online. We're actually a supporter of a foundation, the Own Your Data Foundation, which was founded by Brittany Kaiser, who was a part of Cambridge Analytica originally, and then she was the initial whistleblower on all of the dirty tactics that they were using, scraping Facebook data and making targeted ads to influence political campaigns. But leveraging the opportunity now to change that narrative and to give ourselves an opportunity to have a more sovereign and private experience online, just like we would in our own homes, is something that I'm really passionate about. So when I first heard about Sentinel, and then I started digging deeper into how centralized and how vulnerable VPN companies are, I started realizing this is a huge problem that actually has a really novel solution.
Yeah, it sounds like a really good solution. Like, so it's available now. Like, if I wanted to use it today, like to VPN my way through to this recording, like, could I do that?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we have there's Exidio, and we're the software development company building on the Sentinel network. But the Sentinel network itself is truly a peer-to-peer network, right? It's everyone that's offering bandwidth to the network and everyone that's leveraging that bandwidth marketplace to be able to access IP addresses around the world. And so Exidio, we're building applications that connect to that bandwidth network. And so Exidio's built our own proprietary one, the Sentinel DVPN. But then there's another company that has their own application called the Velocity VPN. And that's also built on the network. And now as other companies or entrepreneurs want to start up their own VPN projects and they want to build it on this growing, robust Sentinel network, they can hire Exidio, and we'll help them with the front-end application, with the integration on the network, and ensuring that everything runs smoothly for their customer base. But yeah, you can use the Sentinel DVPN right now on Android or iOS, and you can use it on the Velocity VPN as well. And we're working on building out a custom desktop client, a V3 client for full VPN access
Yeah,
on
what's the
desktop as
easiest
well.
way to use it? Like, do you have to set it up through a browser, like through an extension, or is it, downloading via like a desktop client the easiest way? Can you do it on your phone too?
Yeah, so it is on
Mm.
the iOS store, so you can download it on your iPhone, and it's on the Android store, so you could download it
Wait, doing it now. Hold on.
on your Android device.
I want to
And then
find
as
it. Wait,
far as on,
is it just called
let's
Sentinel
do
or
it.
what?
Yeah, Sentinel DVPN.
There it is. Oh my God. 4.6 stars. You guys are doing something right.
It's been great. We've taken a lot of feedback from the community in our development, so I think that's had a lot of impact. We're not the only project
Mhm.
that's trying to work on this problem of decentralized VPN, but I would say that other projects that are building, peer-to-peer bandwidth sharing marketplaces haven't had as much traction as we've had. I think that goes to say a lot about how we've developed community. I'm a testament to that. I was just a community member that was really impressed with the concept of
Mhm.
the project and the transparency of the project and the consistent communication um, and kind of the scrappiness of the project. It's always been like a hodgepodge group of developers that are working together. They're actually passionate about the tech. Um, so with that information, we've been able to take feedback from community and continually iterate and develop apps based on the community's
Yeah,
feedback.
yeah. Where's your community based? Online. Do you guys have like a Discord community, or do you have? Is it mostly on Twitter, or is it a public space, private space?
Mhm. Yeah, so it's public on Twitter, twitter.com/sentinel_co. And then on Telegram as well,
Mhm.
t.me/sentinel_co. So Twitter and Telegram are primary communities. And there's a lot of other specific sub communities within Telegram for different geographies. I think we have like 12 or 13 different countries that have their own Sentinel Telegram group that are speaking in their own languages
Mhm.
that are using the app around the world. And we also have a Discord as well, but the Discord isn't quite as active as the
Yeah. Do
Telegram
you guys
group.
get a lot of engagement like in your guys' community?
And then we also have a community on Reddit that's pretty cute. Yeah, I think that's what really has stood out for Sentinel and why I was excited when I was finishing my MBA. I did
Mhm.
a 12-month kind of sprint in-person MBA in Boston, but I was always very involved with Sentinel. And talking to some of the original founders of the project, they were saying we need to develop the software development arm building on Sentinel, and we think you'd be a great leader. And that really
Mhm.
came from my involvement in the community. And I was super involved in the community because of the engagement. It's kind of like it's a vibrant kind of crazy crowd that really cares about the tech and really thinks that we deserve a
Mhm.
more private experience online. So it's not. I think that it's not as much. A little bit some of the like FOMO and Moon Boys and
Sure.
excitement just around the price. It's really a pretty strong community around privacy tech. So it's been cool to see individuals come together around that strong narrative. Yeah, so you'll see they've kind of mean themselves into
Mhm.
existence as the Blue Friend Gang. And if you type in like hashtag Blue Friend Gang on Twitter, you'll see all these blue pepes, and they've made themselves the Sentinel Blue, and it's kind of crazy to see
What's
it
the
all come
Blue
together.
Friend Gang? Is that just
Yeah,
a chat forum or a group?
no, it's like an identity now of
Oh.
the Sentinel community that are like
Mhm.
against centralization and like against like privacy and peering eyes. It's become like this rabid kind of crazy community that's happened. I think over the last like 9 months, maybe I just started seeing a lot of things like posting up on Twitter, and then like
Mhm.
they've been on like 4chan. It's just a lot of people in the community that have built memes and like kind of like built like kind of come together around the concept of
Mhm.
Sentinel. So yeah,
That's really good
it's
though
been
to
cool to
have
see.
that kind of community response.
I'll get
Yeah,
you
I'd
in
love to be
the
in
Blue
it.
Friend Gang. Yeah. No, it's cool because like I feel really lucky to be a part of a project where there's so many people that are actually passionate about the tech and the next step in the roadmap and the development. and that have like memed themselves into this collective identity. Um, yeah, it reminds me kind of like the Link Army, the Link Marines. It's like the Blue Friend
That's
Gang.
pretty cool. I'm gonna have to check that out at some point. Is there a cost associated with using your guys' VPN? So like I use like NordVPN for like just a normal VPN for like trying to stream like Netflix in the US or something. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
in Colombia. Um and that cost me, I don't know, 120 bucks a year, something like that. Or I don't know, something like that. But like, do you guys have like a price associated with using the service, or is it actually like completely free? Or like, if it is free, is there any downfall to that? Is it slower?
Yeah,
Hmm.
so we're moving on to our like mainnet two on Cosmos IBC, and that'll be happening at the end of this month. And as we do that, we will be monetizing the network, and so
Hmm.
it'll be a paid service. So we'll always have a freemium model. You'll be able to download any app and use it and explore and experience the app. But then there'll be only a limited amount of nodes that you can access, and there'll be a limited amount of bandwidth that you can use before you're invited to use the paid model. But it's crucial that like with a NordVPN or Express
Sure.
or TunnelBear, any of these applications that have a really good user experience, we need to match them at that. And then on top of UX, we need to also have a cheaper price because while provably end-to-end encrypted is important and you're actually getting privacy and you can actually read the open source code. While that's important to strong people with strong ethos around privacy tech, the individual consumer is going to look for the best user experience and the cheapest price.
Yeah. When you roll out like this next step in development, like, do you know on average what you think the price is going to be?
Yeah, so we're targeting around
Hmm.
$3 or $4 a month, and that's going to be it's going to be an open marketplace. So there'll be a subscription service around that price point that you can pay similar to what you have with Nord, or you can pay based on the amount of bandwidth that you use, and that will be actually up to individual node hosts to set their own price in a competitive market. And you can select the nodes that have you can see their consistent uptime, their bandwidth throughput, details around each node, and then the price point that they're charging. So it'll make for, I think, a more competitive pricing marketplace where every node is looking to generate passive income and make a profit, but not have crazy rent
Hmm.
seeking. Like you said, $10 a month, $120 a year is crazy. The amount of profit
Yeah.
that Nord is making on that product. Um, these prices don't have to
Yeah. I
be that
don't think
high.
they should be that high. But I mean, I pay it anyways, but I'd love to pay less than that. But in terms of, because you're the VPN expert, I don't know that much about VPNs. So like, in terms of like how fast it is, like from a bandwidth perspective, like if someone wanted to stream like some streaming service like Netflix or Disney Plus because they're outside the country and they need to get around certain, internet firewalls to do so. How
Mm-hmm.
fast is Sentinel in the network, or does that really depend on how many nodes are out there? Like what's the factor that helps determine that? Hmm.
It'll be the actual exit node that you're routing your traffic through. So what their throughput is, and so you'll have all that information at your access when you're connecting to the app. And it also that's one factor. And then if you're going to use like a multi-hop architecture where you're routing your traffic through multiple nodes and it's encrypted and decrypted at each hop, the more nodes that you have in that multi-hop architecture can slow down the throughput of your internet as well. So it really depends on how many hops you set up your architecture and what is the
Can you
throughput of your
choose?
exit node.
Can you choose which node?
But
Like if you
generally
wanted.
speaking, it's
Sorry, I
it's
think there's
not
a
an
little bit of a
issue.
lag between us. Can you choose like which node, and then like because some people want to show up in like certain places, certain cities, certain countries. Like, is that a potential option as well?
Yes, exactly. So you can pick not only the country, but you can pick the individual city and the individual node that you're routing your traffic through, and you can do that
Hmm.
on your your iPhone or your Android phone right now. And the V3 client that we're building out an interactive map where you can actually select the geography and dial into the individual nodes.
Can you pay with crypto?
Absolutely. Yeah. And so you can pay with crypto, and we're also going to be working on fiat gateways as well. Because one thing is we've been pretty lucky to see a lot of traction for our products. Like I said, you said you saw the
Hmm.
4.6 star review on iPhone, but we've really had a significant user base, and we've seen a real demand for this. I would say probably 95% of the people using the Sentinel Dvpn app are not crypto native users, or are not really like looking at the token or really
Hmm.
like focused on that. They're really looking for better privacy tech and a secure VPN experience online. There was an article that came out recently in Al Jazeera that Palestinian protesters were using it to
Hmm.
disseminate information when they couldn't otherwise, because internet ISP providers were shutting down the ability to communicate over certain forums. So they couldn't get access to websites like Facebook, and they were using VPN, a decentralized VPN, to be able to get access to Signal and Telegram to be able to
Right.
share messages. So yeah, I think that's one thing that really makes Sentinel pretty powerful and unique. So we're at over 300,000 users around the globe that are using the app across, using the network across all the
Yeah,
applications.
that's really exciting. Are you guys launched in multiple different countries, or just the US, or like what market are you guys mostly focused on growing first?
So yeah, wherever there's people that want to offer bandwidth as nodes to the network, it's truly a peer-to-peer network. So there's no way that I could stop it if I wanted
Hmm.
to, which I think is pretty cool. But there's a lot of nodes kind of popping up all over. So in Europe, in the Middle East, in North America, we're looking to continually grow access in China and having VPN
Hmm.
node hosts in China. There's a huge opportunity there, and we're seeing a huge user demand. So there's quite a few Chinese users, but now we're looking to see more node hosts offer bandwidth through China. But it's truly pretty global. So anyone can offer their bandwidth to the
Yeah, if
network.
you can get through the Great Firewall of China, that's a pretty big deal. There's a lot of it's a big market there. A lot of people that want access to um, Western society, stuff that they just can't get. It just sucks. I would hate to live in China or be a Chinese citizen and be completely shut off or being filtered in terms of what you could see and what you could do outside of China. It's just a huge issue.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that
Hmm.
that's like people, there's two benefits to a VPN, right? There's giving yourself privacy
Hmm.
and not having your internet service provider peer into your activity online. But then there's your right to access to information and being able to, avoid restrictions, be them your ISP, be them your country, whatever type of gatekeeper is holding you back from getting access to free information. And so, yeah, there is a large user base of Sentinel DVPN users in China, but that's actually an opportunity for us to continue to grow. We have been able to, pass the Great Firewall, and people are really appreciative of the app. And so I think there's a huge opportunity to grow. One thing that makes it challenging is it's hard to do
Hmm.
marketing locally in China because of the restrictions around VPN. So, brands or influencers or companies can't come out and directly promote a VPN due to the kind of, fine nature of products and
Yeah, I
VPN
guess
products in
that's
China.
tricky too. Do these ISPs, are they the ones that are selling the information when you're searching things on your phone and on your computer and stuff? Are they the ones that sell it to the big tech companies and everything? Because it's like every time I look something up on Google on my phone, and then it's like an hour later I see an ad for it pop up on my TV or something. It's just like the creepiest thing in the world.
Yeah, it's so yeah, but
Hmm.
that's the least of the amount of information they have on you, and it's just not right. It's just not a world that we signed up for. Um, and I think we're so quick, especially in the internet age, to trade, uh, rights or privacy for convenience. And we don't, like, most people don't understand when they're, you know, signing up for AT&T or Claro or whatever their ISP is, what that entails and what information that they're giving up by just leveraging an ISP. And internet service providers really have monopolies on the local jurisdictions that they offer. Um, so yeah, ISPs for decades have been known to collect metadata and sell that, or use that for their own information. And then these centralized databases get hacked and leaked as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge issue. So, I mean, hopefully there's more services, and especially like this, to keep popping up to help, give people options to, resolve it. So it kind of sucks. So that's a society we do live in where, all of our everyday information, whether it's public or private, it's taken away from us and used against us to get us to buy things or, use services or use apps. And I don't know, I feel like it's just a really bad part about society still. But well, blockchain will help change a lot of that. It'll create a lot of different incentives and hopefully change the system up.
Yeah, I mean it's not a snap your finger and solve the problem type of solution for sure. And Sentinel isn't a one shot and all of your privacy tech is completely taken care of. Um, However, it's a part of the important stack that we need to build for privacy and for decentralized web. And a bandwidth sharing marketplace, I think, is really one of the core layers and core tenets of like
Hmm.
the building the Web3 stack.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a direction we're all kind of together heading towards. In terms of like your guys' roadmap, other than the next rollout you guys have and everything, what other milestones should people be looking out for going into the rest of the year? Like, what's important that you want people to be aware of?
Yeah. So
Hmm.
the V3 client, the desktop applications that we're building out are going to be crucial. And then after that, scaling the node network and having a far more robust amount of people offering bandwidth to the network as we monetize the network. And then after that, letting companies that want to leverage this robust and growing network build on top of it and offer unique products. And like you said, are they some product, like you said, how does the Sentinel Dvpn application work? And it's a standalone desktop application, but another company might want to build a browser extension. Another company might want to build it as natively integrated into their own application. So the different use cases and applications of offering a VPN seamlessly into different companies' products is something that
Hmm.
is going to be important, and we need to make that like access to VPN really, really seamless. So building out white label offerings, and then building out a multi-hop architecture would be the next step. So right now there it is going through just you can go to
Hmm.
your one direct exit node, but building out a true multi-hop privacy architecture is something that we're looking to begin doing in the second half of 2021 and implementing it in the beginning of
Sweet.
2022.
Sounds pretty cool. I'm going to check out the app today too, and I'll leave you guys a good review um, and everything. Like, I need a new VPN badly. 'Cause I don't want to spend 120 bucks a month, or not a month, but a year. But still, I don't know. I don't know if I trust NordVPN and all the other centralized ones. They all say that they're not selling your information or they're not logging anything, but I kind of have a hard time believing that. So the
Mhm.
decentralized VPN route. Yeah.
Well, actually, in 2019, Nord was hacked. I'll send you the article after
Oh,
this
that's
video, but
that's
they were
awful.
hacked and proving that they were logging user data. So it's this is just big honeypots
Mhm.
that people are using that VPN companies have. And another huge issue with the VPN industry as it is currently is it's very much an oligopoly. There's like 4 or 5 large companies
Mhm.
that own the vast majority of VPN products. It's just that you kind of have to go down the rabbit hole a little bit, and you realize that like there's a holding company that uses it, that
Mhm.
holding company has a different parent company, and when you get to it, a lot of these front end applications are really built from the same few companies. Um, so it's using centralized VPNs is a serious liability, and it's something that I think people aren't aware of because it's um, they have so much money because their
Mhm.
profit margins are so high. They they control the majority of their SEO and like what's said about them online because they spend so much money making sure that they're just branding themselves and their offering, but they're people don't realize that they are actually a significant security
Gotcha.
liability.
Do you guys have competition? I mean, other than them, do you guys have like another decentralized VPN out there that you guys kind of compete with in a friendly way?
Yeah, and I think we're looking to grow our networks together. So Mysterium is
Mhm.
another network that is doing decentralized VPN, um, and we've actually worked with them to establish the Dvpn Alliance, and it's dvpnalliance.org. And we have kind of a manifesto of where we see
Mhm.
a more secure and private experience online through decentralized networks. There's another one, Orchid Protocol. Orchid is looking to build decentralized VPN. I think they're still on the path towards full decentralization. I know that they've used a few centralized VPN providers as their backend node hosts in the past, but I think that they're looking to make a transition. Um, and then there's a few other ones. A Deeper Network is a newer project, and they have a hardware device that I think they're looking to individuals to offer their bandwidth through this hardware device. So yeah, there's a few projects out there, and we want to see how we can collaborate. I don't think we need to be going head to head against each other as decentralized VPN. We need to be taking on
Mhm.
centralized VPN companies that own 99+% of the market share, um, and it's a growing market at an insane rate. I think the VPN industry is one of the fastest growing markets,
Mhm.
in tech. It's been growing at like a 20 something 22% CAGR. The VPN industry in and of itself was like a 15 or $16 billion
Mhm.
industry in 2016, and it crossed 30 billion in 2020, and it's expected to cross over 70 billion in the
Those are some
next
big
like
numbers,
4
big
years.
projections. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I think COVID has been a big accelerant
Mhm.
as everyone's working online and are remote. Um, People are looking to get secure access. They're not working from their um, you know private company workstations that
Yeah,
have
that
the
is a
security
huge push. So
protocols in
many
place.
people have been forced to, do more and more online, whether it's, personal for work or, for your business. So, I mean, I can definitely see that as pushing, VPNs or people towards looking at those differently as well. Cause it's just a big part of the whole online experience, especially for work in a company where you got a lot of sensitive information. You got have secure information transmitted back and forth, and you're calling people and video chatting. Yeah, I guess that definitely plays in. I didn't think about that before.
Yeah. It's a new world we're living in now. I don't
Mhm.
think everyone's gonna go back
Yeah,
to an
the
old
world's the
paradigm now
world's
that we've
completely
realized that
different
we
now.
can
You
we can
mentioned
work
the
remote.
DVPN Alliance. What is that? Is that like your guys' version of the Avengers to take on centralized VPNs, or?
Yeah, man.
Uh,
Absolutely. So it's us and Mysterium so far, and we welcome other
mhm.
projects that are building in the decentralized VPN space or a decentralized bandwidth space to think about how we can best, yeah, band together, create industry best practices, do some advocacy work, and provide provide a forum for education around what is secure access to a VPN and what are the risks of centralized VPNs compared to the power of
Yeah,
decentralized
have you guys
VPN.
put it together like anything educational? Like you've done like a conference or put together like a online video series or anything like that to like kind of just educate people and tell them more about what decentralized VPNs are? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people that would be interested in learning more about that stuff.
Yeah, so we have high level explainer of what a decentralized
Hmm.
VPN is and the values of it on the Dvpn Alliance website, and then we also go into what the implications are of running an exit node and your legal rights. A lot of people, that's a question. If I'm running an exit node and someone's you know using it for nefarious reasons, what is my legal liability? And we have legalese and information around what the implications are of running an exit node. And as long as you just show that you're a part of a decentralized network and you are just a node in that network, then you're not liable for the traffic that's transmitted through your IP address.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, well, it's really cool. It'd be cool to see like more information. Like I'd love to attend like an online like conference or like speaker series or something where they talk more about this. I think Orchid did one. I had them on the podcast not too long ago, and they did something similar as well. But it'd be cool to see more like online, like digital privacy type stuff out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like I said, Sentinel is not like a silver bullet that's going to take care of all privacy solutions. So we're looking to find what are different like complementary products to provide a more decentralized and private experience online. So we're working with Akash Network, and they're just doing decentralized cloud compute. And so we're not all depending on Infura. We're not all depending on Azure or Amazon Web Services. And then we're also going to be looking to partner with Secret Network. They're doing privacy at the blockchain level, so private smart contracts and privacy for transmitting information and data. So there's a lot of opportunities for us to find collaborations and partnerships. A new project that's coming out is Panther Protocol, and they're also going to be doing decentralized or private privacy as a first layer blockchain for privacy and for smart contracts as well. So I think we need to band together and explore how we can find smart collaborations and where the tech naturally kind of is complementary for one another to provide a better experience for everyone.
Have you guys reached out to Filecoin or IPFS through Protocol Labs at all? Like potentially work with them?
Yeah, so we're looking at different decentralized storage options. So we haven't had conversations with IPFS yet, but we are looking at them, or there's a lot of players in that space, right? Arweave, Storj, Storage, Siacoin. So there's quite a few in that space, and it's kind of going to be interesting to see but then also another project we're partnering with is the Handshake Network, and they're doing decentralized name bases, so decentralized domains. Decentralized DNS I think is also going to be a core part of like the Web3 stack, and we've had a lot of good conversations with them, and we're starting to build decentralized VPN nodes that can then directly route into Handshake Network.
It'd be cool to see you guys all kind of come together and collab a little bit to take all these different solutions you guys got to put it all together into something that's really streamlined, so that we can all go to like one platform or one client that you download and kind of be able to have access to all of this. That'd be the best like experience.
Yeah, so something we're in the works right now that I can't quite announce, but there's a hardware device that's going to have a lot of this packaged into one plug and play device that we're working on and working through the technical integration.
That sounds pretty cool. That's got me excited. All right, I'll be waiting for that. What's the timeline on that?
Yeah, man. Probably towards the end of this year.
Cool. I'm going to keep my eye out for that. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, probably in the next 5 months or so. Yeah, because it's about scaling out both the tech integration, then also building out the hardware so that it can be sold at
keep me posted
scale
on that when that becomes announced. And yeah, you're welcome to come back on the podcast and talk about that one as well. That sounds pretty cool. This is probably a good place to wrap it up. We've gone for a little while.
Cool.
So Dan, thanks for taking the time to come on and dive into, Exidio, Sentinel, everything with decentralized VPNs, why they're important, how they work. I get a lot of questions about it all the time. So I know a lot of people will really enjoy the episode and find it educational. And also, where can people go to find out more information? Just the website, or are you guys active a lot on social media, or where do you want people to go?
Yeah, no, I think the best is to come and directly interact with us. So come to our Telegram group, t.me/sentinel_co, or find us on Twitter, twitter.com/sentinel_co. And you'll be able to connect to us. We're really open. I think that there's an exciting amount of people that are really excited about our privacy tech. So come join the community, check it out, ask some questions. People are happy to inform, and answer questions to anyone that's trying to figure out exactly how this tech works or how it can benefit them.
Yeah, send me some links later and I'll put them in the episode description so people can easily find it. But Dan, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.